Welcome back, everybody. In case you're wondering what's on my feet, well, on the 11th of May, it's a National Sleeper Day. The annual event urges South Africans to wear their sleepers and wristbands in support of kids suffering from life-threatening illnesses. Now, this initiative was implemented by Reach for a Dream. That's an NGO that dedicates itself to making the dreams of kids fighting life-threatening illnesses. The wristbands are priced at 10 Rand at any Wimpy outlet. Now, through Reach for a Dream, hundreds of South African kids have been able to enjoy the simple things in life many of us take for granted. And for more on this drive, we're joined by Marvyn, Serebro, the chairperson of Reach for a Dream Foundation, and Jacques, Cronje, the Wimpy marketing executive, and as well as Jody. A very good morning to you three. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Marvyn, I'm going to start with you. Tell us more about this initiative. What does it entail, and what's the objective behind it?
It's our largest campaign each year, and we're hoping to raise this year 5 million Rand. And all of that is spent on enriching the lives of our life-threatened children. And it's a marvelous, fun activity. Wimpy is one of our two primary donors and perhaps the fulcrum of the campaign in that, and they were wonderfully supportive from the time we first spoke to them. And obviously, the fact that they have 500 stores around the country is integral to the success of the campaign. And people who purchase slippers can go into Wimpy's, buy the wristband in their slippers, and on Slipper Day, which is on the 11th, they get a free cup of coffee. But it's just the most marvelous campaign, and it is about our children and clearly families, which is what Wimpy's about.
Sure, absolutely. And I do understand that last year you managed to raise over 2.6 million Rand. So how do you decide how the money is spent, and who benefits from that particular initiative or donation?
The money is spent entirely on our children, and obviously across the entire organization, and dream fulfillment is our most critical focus. Okay. So we spend the money on dream fulfillment and on our other activities, all of which are designed for our wonderful children.
For sure, for sure. Now, Jacques, this is obviously a brilliant initiative. Why did Wimpy decide to be part of it?
So for us, firstly, we're, as Marvyn said, a family brand. So we are all about families. And it's also, you know, our footprint across the country really makes such a difference for us in terms of contributing to this campaign, because, you know, it really, anyone around the country can buy their wristbands at any Wimpy, because we are literally in almost every single town. So those two things combined just made absolute sense for us from a brand perspective to really put our effort behind this campaign and, yeah, really making a difference in children's lives.
So since the National Sleeper Day was established, how has it changed lives?
So many kids. In fact, Marvyn and I were chatting this morning, and he was telling me since day one, there hasn't been a single kid whose dream has not been fulfilled. And that to us is such an inspiration and such a driver behind putting our effort behind this campaign. So really, those kids who are in dire need, their dreams really are fulfilled.
Absolutely.
And that's really what keeps us going and really putting our effort and motivation behind this.
Yeah. Now, Jody, is this particular drive enough to sustain this campaign for the rest of the year?
There are a lot of initiatives that Reach for a Dream do throughout the year, but this is by far the biggest.
Is it?
And that is why Wimpy gets involved with it. As Jacques said, we are a family-oriented brand, and we raise this money for these children to give them the hope to overcome their illnesses. And not only do we give these children hope, we give the families the strength and the courage to be able to deal with what they're going through. Okay. So by buying your 10 Rand wristband, that is what you are putting your money towards. So from a Reach for Dreams perspective, I'm sure Marvyn can tell you what else they're involved in, but from our side, this is a huge campaign. We put a lot behind it, and we hope to look after these children and the families.
Okay, remind us again how it's done. You buy a wristband?
So you go to any Wimpy throughout the country. We have 480 nationwide. You buy a 10 Rand wristband. On Slipper Day, we urge everybody, wear your slippers to work, to school, to the gym, to the shops, wherever you go. wear your wristband and your slippers into Wimpy, get a free cup of coffee, and show your support.
Incredible stuff. Fantastic. Now, Marvyn, the plan was to open a new satellite office. So where will the proceeds go to this year?
All of the money that we raise is spent on our children. And as Jody said a moment ago, we're in our 30th year. And the fact that we've never not been able to fulfill a dream is really quite an astonishing concept. Just to consider that despite the variety of ideas that children have in terms of dream fulfillment, regardless of whether that child wants to experience a hot air balloon or swim with the dolphins, or go to the top of Table Mountain, and many, many other somewhat off-the-wall ideas, we've never, ever not been able to fulfill a dream. So the funds raised will all go towards the fulfillment of children's dreams.
All right. Thank you so much to you three. We really appreciate your time. And immediately after this show, I'm sprinting to Wimpy.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was Marvyn Serebro, the chairperson of Reach for a Dream Foundation, and Jacques Cronje, the Wimpy marketing executive, accompanied by Jody. And buy your Sleeper Day wristband for only 10 Rand at all the Wimpy outlets. All proceeds will be made to the Reach for a Dream Foundation. All right, it is almost 7 o'clock, time for the latest news.